Excellent. Thank you so much. We're live. Welcome to the show. It's live time. It's live time with the prime time.
I love it. That's great. With crime time?
Yeah, sure. Loser Leaves Wrestling. That's what this is. I forgot what shows are called. Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the Weekly Wrestle 24.
24 episodes. 26 weeks, 24 episodes.
Let's celebrate each. Why 26 weeks?
Because we've missed 2 weeks.
Oh, gotcha. Connor O'Reilly is already in the chat. Connor, get it here.
24. That's 6 months. We've been doing the Weekly Wrestle for 6 months.
Makes sense to me. We started right at the beginning of the year.
We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of you and I doing this together.
Didn't we already do that?
That was 10 episodes.
No, well, we're hitting the 2 year mark of the show soon. Connor O'Reilly, thank you so much for joining. Yeah. But I noticed that you said something, but you didn't smash that like button. Weird how that happens.
Strange.
Hammer, do you have something to say about that? Say any one thing.
Boo. That's fun. I like that.
I have a whole bunch of Hammer sound effects.
I thought it was the hammer.
All right.
Oops, my hammer. Oops, my hammer. Oops, my hammer. That's my hammer. That's my hammer. That's my fucking hammer. You fucking nigga. I'm gonna need that.
Whoa!
Hammer time.
No, not at all. I thought was going on. Not at all what I thought was going on.
We were supposed to have a very calm, relaxed show today, but
we're never doing those sound effects again.
Alienated. Let's just keep rolling. Let's just
forget that ever happened. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Connor O'Reilly here. Fixed it. Thank you so much, Connor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Connor.
I have COVID.
Yeah.
I have COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How are you feeling today?
Okay. I'm coughing still.
Yeah.
Head at night, my head felt like it was swelling like a grape
because of congestion.
No, just my forehead, my head felt like it was swelling up, and it was terrible. And some other things are happening, but we also have a lot of fun to talk about today. We have a lot of fun. And S is in the chat. S says, "Hello, Governor." Hello, Governor.
S bought a beer last night from Aubrey Edwards.
Well, a beer last night from Aubrey Edwards. What a treat. And tell us more about that. Was she nice? You never said that in the Discord.
Nice. I bet she was
we have a Discord for Patreon followers, and S mentioned this in the Discord. I'm curious if she was nice. I think she'd be nice, right?
I would think she'd be very nice. I would think that Sammy would be less nice if you were buying an acid from him.
By the way, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
How well?
Well.
Okay. All right, I'm good with that.
All right.
Let's start talking about things. We have things to talk about.
Let's start getting into it. This is going to be a real fun, calm, cool show.
Calm, cool, collected. Yeah. Sure.
Do we want to talk about Rampage?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Rampage. I watched it, but I didn't watch it directly. There's some things that I caught that I really enjoyed, and one thing I missed that I'm really upset about.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I think we both know what it is. Tell me what I missed out on with the Acclaimed and Billy.
Oh my God, it was great.
Tell me what I missed.
It was outstanding. It was so funny.
What happened?
Billy Gunn is giving a rah-rah speech to the new group of the Acclaimed and the Gun Club, and he said, "We need a hand gesture that'll get over big with the crowd." And Austin Gunn raises his hand. And he says, "Ooh, father, pick me, father," which is so funny. And he says, "Yeah, Austin." And he says, "I've got this idea." That's my dog. Goose. And he said, "I've got this idea where we put our hands up in the air and then we do like a crotch chop." And Billy Gunn's like, no. And then, of course, Anthony Bones is like, "I've got this idea where we put our fingers out and we scissor." And Billy Gunn's like, "Great idea. Great job." And then he's like, "Okay, well, now we need a catchphrase that's going to get over. We need a big catchphrase." And Austin Gunn says, "Ooh, father, pick me, father." And he says, "Yes, Austin." And he says, "How about I've got 2 words?" And then Billy stops him and he says, "That'll never get over." Ha, 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 ha.
Oh,
and then Max Caster raises his hand and he's like, "How about yo, listen?" And Billy Gunn's like, that's great. And they're all celebrating. They're all happy. And then Billy Gunn is like, I got you a huge match next week. And he was like, one of them said, oh, is it on Dynamite? And he's like, no. And he's like, oh, is it on Rampage? And he's like, no. He says it's on Dark Elevation. And they go crazy. And it's very funny.
That sounds very funny. That sounds like a fun time. And let me know if I'm getting louder or colder. I feel like it's happening all the time. But I'm really upset that I missed that. I might have to go back and check it out.
Yeah, you should go back and check it out. It's great.
But also, there was one thing that I liked on there. Well, I didn't like on there. I was just so confused by. Sammy Guevara.
Oh, it's all terrible.
The Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky had a match, which was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match.
It was a good match. Scorpio Sky won with the help of Ethan Page. Afterwards, he confronts Ethan Page like, did you hit him with the belt? Did you hit him with the belt? And he's just like, then Ethan Page is like, yeah, with the belt to help you. And there's just a team. He screams a bunch, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm interested. I'm definitely interested in what was happening. But then Scorp nails Frankie with the title. And Sammy Guevara and Ty chase them away?
Yeah, what's going on here? This is all to me like the rest of, not the rest of necessarily. There's some other things I take small issue with. But for the most part, AEW is doing well from a booking perspective for me. But this is just awful. This whole TNT thing is so bad. It's so confusing. No one's getting over. It's not helping anyone. It's so confusing. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. Don't like it.
I'm glad we're on the same page. And we don't like it. We don't like it. S writes, in reference to Aubrey Edwards, so nice. Really great customer service.
Oh.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's keep this going though. We have to keep this going.
I do want to point out I have a big announcement to make.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, here we go.
After watching Dynamite last night, Red, I agree with you. I don't really like RIHO that much.
There we go. He found it. Then we'll use a regular hammer sound effect. Hammer down. Very good. But yeah,
I just thought she was kind of out of sync. She's only. I only enjoy her
slowing
work.
Ruby down.
She was
like she was always like a step behind, taking too long, not running fast enough, not getting there quick enough. And nothing she does looks good.
She is only good when she is against someone someone big. She needs to be at a complete and total disadvantage when she's at someone who's like very close to her size, which surprisingly Ruby Soho's like pretty close to her size. Ruby Soho is significantly stronger, I assume.
Yeah.
But like height wise and size wise, there's not that much of a difference. She doesn't know how to work with someone that size.
No, does not. And not only that, it's also when she faces big people, how do you believe any offense she gives? How do you believe any offense? And it's not like Rey Mysterio where he knows how to work for his size. He could beat the Big Show because what he does, he's a smart worker. Rio's not that. She doesn't know how to do that stuff. She can't throw herself in the way that's convincing.
It's true.
She throws herself literally like a wet towel, just slap it around. Brooklyn Bleak is here. Brooklyn Bleak, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Brooklyn Bleak writes, no, stop the Rio hate. Brooklyn Bleak, give it to let us know what we're missing.
Yeah, did you enjoy Brooklyn Bleak? Did you see and did you enjoy the match against? Look, I've enjoyed pretty much all of her work except for her match with Ruby Soho last night, and it made me realize that she's got some holes in her game. But everyone does. Everyone does. No one is perfect.
Swiss cheese battleship. That's Rio. We have to keep on it. Anything else to report from Rampage that was of significance?
I continue to not like. This thing is, I like the baddie club. Like I like it. They're the baddies. I like it in theory, but I don't. I still am bothered by this whole Red Velvet thing. It bothers me that they're not acknowledging the fact that she was embarrassed multiple times by Jade Cargill. They're just not acknowledging it. She's just there. It just feels like they needed a person. They just needed another person, and they were like, well, you could maybe fit in this group. We'll just put you in here, which is bullshit. You could have put anybody else in that group. Anyone else. Get someone who's only been on Elevation to be the third member of that group. Like
it's a little insulting, honestly. Yeah. It's a little insulting. We have some comments here. All the Money's writes, is Rio big in Japan or something? All the Money's is here. Oh my God. All the Money's is here.
She is.
welcome to the show. I'm giving everyone just whatever sound effect. There's no more consistency today.
She's pretty big in Japan. Yeah, within Pro.
I think the reason that she's popular is because of her story. She has an awesome story.
I still don't believe that story.
You don't believe that her and Kenny Omega had that match? She was the 9-year-old?
I don't believe that. No.
She is.
I gotta find out.
What do you mean you don't believe that? That's who she is.
I've never heard that before. I've heard that from you.
That was in 2009, 10?
I've heard that from you, but I've never.
I'm pretty sure.
She was trained by Amy Sakura.
Connor O'Reilly writes, the TNT situation feels to me like they had an original plan, but at some point it changed, and since then they've been fumbling it and don't know what to do. I agree with that, Connor. There was something.
The TNT Championship? Is that what I was looking this up? Yeah. I agree.
No. Essentially, Connor was saying that there were original plans that they fumbled, and now they're just keep fumbling.
Yeah.
And it feels like that. It does. It feels like maybe there was something at one point, but not anymore. Great job, Connor. S writes, Roy's right about the baddies. The OG Baddie Club was was awesome.
Great
idea. Body
idea.
positive. It was progressive. This new version is just another faction.
Yeah.
Boring.
And it's like I feel like it's also exploiting like female stereotypes as well. Like they're kind of like bratty or they're kind of bitchy or whatever. And it's so much more. She is so much more. And I feel like for a period of time, Jade Cargill was doing like. She was saying some really interesting things and like doing some really interesting things and acting different ways when she like kissed Ty Conti and all of that. Like the baddies have taken away overall from like her aura as a character and as a champion. And she started RIHO, going back to RIHO. You are correct in the fact that RIHO was only 9 years old and still in elementary school when she started training, but she never wrestled Kenny Omega. She was just another 9-year-old who started wrestling under Emi Sakura.
So S agrees with you, says Red is wrong. She wasn't the 9-year-old. She was a 9-year-old. S. Maybe you didn't think about that, S, did you? But I will say, if that is the case, that she wasn't the one that wrestled Kenny Omega. I have no idea why she's in this company. I have no idea why she's wrestling. That was the only reason I could get behind her is that story. Other than that, she's not a good wrestler. She's kind of boring, and she flops around like a wet Kleenex.
I just want to say real quick, based on this Wikipedia here, this has nothing to do with RIHO, but I will say that RIHO was defeated by a tag team named Muscle Venus, which is an excellent tag team name. Muscle Venus. And Hikaru Shibata was one member of Muscle Venus.
Very interesting.
Hikaru Shibata, great.
We have things to talk about with her in the weekly wrestle.
We sure do.
But is there anything else to cover from Rampage?
No, that's it. That's it, pretty much.
S writes, she was a 9-year-old, but not the 9-year-old. What? I'm going to do something. I'm going to give you something, you son of a gun.
Enemy spotted.
All right,
I love that one.
It's really good.
Wrong.
Don't love that one as much.
I really love that one. It's really funny.
I know you do.
We got to move on because we have news to cover.
I'm ready.
Oh, man. Sorry.
What happened?
No, I just made a noise. I made a bad noise. Hold on.
I can see you doing it.
Yeah,
just remember when you mute yourself, you can still play sound effects and everyone can hear it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Achoo! I wish we have to talk about the news.
We got to get into it.
And we have a new person running tech. Jerf, thank you so much. If you could go to that first picture that I sent, number 1, and we'll just go that way. I'll cue you whenever it comes up. Thank you so much. But the first slot, we got Roman Reigns. This is the news of the week. Roman Reigns. Did you hear about what happened with Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns goes to a live show in Trenton, a live event in Trenton. And
shout
after
out
the
to
show, New Jersey. And we get New Jersey proud. We get Roman Reigns goes after the crowd after the show. He goes out and says that he's like very cryptic comments saying something along the lines of, "I'm not sure how many times you're going to see me anymore. You know, I'm entering a new phase of my career. Thank you so much." Blah blah blah. It felt like a retirement tour speech. And then news has broken that he has signed a new type of deal that is fewer dates, and Roman's got some eyes on Hollywood. What are your thoughts on this, Roy? Is this very exciting?
I think Vince McMahon was not at that live event, but right when Roman Reigns started cutting that promo, Vince shot up in bed and went, "Uh-oh," because he's got nothing else. He's got Cody. He's got no one else that he's built up. He has literally built up Roman Reigns over the last 2 years at the expense of the entire roster.
What about Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, what about Drew McIntyre? What's he doing?
What about Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, but both of them are feuding with jabronis. They're not doing anything significant.
Yeah, no, they're both dead in the water.
What do you got? You've got Cody, and Cody's going to defeat him, I'd assume, at some point. But like, there's nobody else, and it's a problem.
Cody did defeat him already on the top spot of Hell in the Cell poster.
Yeah.
So Roman Reigns has been removed from the poster, and Cody Rhodes has taken its place. And very interesting development.
And also,
Cody's climbed in a real fast way.
Yeah, he has. It's weird. It's very weird. And I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where
it's just all you could say is this.
Wow.
Yeah, like why did you unify both of those titles when now both of your heavyweight champions like are part-timers? Like now when Roman's gone with that title, presumably he's not going to lose it. Who's your is Ricochet with his Intercontinental title going to main event pay-per-views and main event house shows?
Maybe. No. Until they unify that with the United States. Yeah. S writes, "You're getting my inflections perfect, Red. Well done. Thank you." That when I was doing the sassy, she was a 9-year-old.
Yeah, that's good.
All the money's right. Drew McIntyre, the chosen one. Now Austin Theory is the new chosen one. Chosen versus chosen feud. Sure. That just sounds boring.
Is Austin Theory good?
Yeah, Austin Theory's good. I like Austin. Austin Theory. I've seen some of his matches, and what I've seen, I really enjoy. He's got good character. I don't like the selfie thing. I really hate that.
Yeah, sure.
I hate the selfie thing, but other than that, I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes about. Cody's climbing the ladder. If we could go to the next slide there, Jeff. We got NXT to go back on tour. NXT 2.0. Did you hear about this?
I may have seen something, and my thought was, did they ever go on tour?
Yeah, so before COVID, they were going on tour.
I did see an NXT house show once.
Yeah, so they were a touring brand, and now they obviously, because of COVID, all that stuff, they stopped going on tour, but they're going back on tour again. And before this, they were selling out their house shows. NXT was doing very well on their touring brand. Do you think they're going to do that anymore?
No, because people were selling out. The reason they were selling out is because it was a super indie show.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore.
Braun Breaker at LA Park or whatever his name is.
LA Park. I wish they had LA Park.
What
is his name? LA Knight.
LA Knight. Sure.
LA Knight.
The parks are trouble.
Yeah, the parks are trouble. That is true.
The creepy guy. It's just I don't see this going well for WWE.
I think they need it from a developmental perspective. These guys need to be working matches in front of people and not just in the weight room,
studio,
whatever it's called. Yeah,
and they're going to be touring around Florida first, which is smart.
That's the
smartest thing to do, and then maybe a national tour. But we'll see. We got all the money's writing. Mahir is the future. Is Mahir the future? I don't know. I don't even know who Mahir is. You're gonna have to let us know all the monies. Connor O'Reilly, do we think Roman is going to do well in Hollywood? Feels like he could just be the Wish version of Jason Momoa, the Wish version.
Wish.com.
Wish.com. I think he could do well. I think he's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy, and he's in good shape. He's got a good look. I could see him being bodyguards.
I'm excited to go see a family comedy starring him and a little girl, where he's the gruff cab driver or something. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, no, sure. He pumps septic tanks.
Yeah,
he pumps septic tanks, and a little girl falls into a septic tank covered in shit, and he saves it. He saves her from.
He's he's like an absentee uncle and he's a septic tank cleaner, and then she but
She falls on
his daughter
watch.
or his sister's like, you gotta watch my kid, and she gets in the car and she's like, P.U., it's stinky in here, and he's like, speak for yourself, you smell, something like that.
No, 100%. And he's very cold to her because she reminds him of his daughter, and she died falling into a septic tank choking on shit. and now he's just like rude to her. He's just like, yeah, you talk about my stinky truck. Go back to your mom. You're not my kid. And she's like, you're not my dad.
This is pretty much Stuber with Dave Bautista and Kamal Nanjiani.
Stuber?
Have you ever seen that?
I want to.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, Dave Bautista, best around.
But we have to find out more about that movie. Sorry for sniffling. Brooklyn Bleak says, lol, really smart, only building up Reigns and Lesnar. They sacrifice people like AJ Styles to Omos. Lol, an entire elimination chamber match to just make Lesnar look like a monster. Yeah, that was a little short-sighted. Yeah. But AJ Styles, I don't think has lost any steam. He could jump back into that.
AJ Cody needs to main event.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We have Brooklyn Bleak, which he has since debuted back in the day. So it was since he debuted back,
AJ.
I think he's referring to Brock. He's been, yeah. All the money's rights. I meant Veer Mahan. I haven't seen Veer.
Is Veer in the future? Has he officially arrived?
I heard good things. He's getting a lot of good positive feedback. Good. I've heard some positive feedback. Brooklyn Bleak said, "This is what you get when you put looks over talent." I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Not true.
Brock. S writes, "You all need to go work on that script. You could make all the monies with that."
All the monies.
I think we could make all the monies like this. Right, like JR makes the ka-ching noise. We have to keep moving on. We have to keep getting out of here. Can we go to that next slide there, Jerv? I appreciate it. Next one, Starcast 5.
Oh, yeah.
Conrad Thompson's baby, Starcast, is returning this summer. It's number 5. There was supposed to be one back in 2020 in Chicago, which was supposed to be a big deal. Did not happen. But this one is going to be happening before SummerSlam.
Which is also really interesting.
Very interesting because he's only done these right around AEW, surrounding AEW events because of its fan-friendly nature, whereas WWE hates their fans. So I'm confused as to why they would do this. But it's an interesting thing. I am sad because I think this means that that's the big thing that Conrad was talking about. Yeah. And I'm very disappointed with that.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why this is happening...
This doesn't feel big.
No, probably not. Not for us. Because I wouldn't want to go to something like this, I don't think. Although I'd like to go to the panels. I would like to sit in and listen to wrestlers talk, but I don't want to pay hundreds of dollars just to go to that. But I feel like the reason this is happening, honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm going to be honest here, is because it's at the Nashville Fairgrounds. I don't know where SummerSlam is, but I guess it's in Nashville. So, but what stadium are they at? That's what I want to know. Hey, does anybody know where SummerSlam is?
I'm going to guess Barclays.
But it can't be at Barclays because Starcast is in Nashville.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah. Is it at the hockey stadium? Anyway. So I think they like the Nashville Fairgrounds. It's a TNA venue. And it's local, it's close to where they are. So I don't know. We'll see. I liked it so much more being paired with an AEW show because it did feel like, the Lollapalooza of wrestling or whatever.
I agree. Do I sound weird? I feel like I sound very weird.
You just started sounding a little weird, but before
now, do I sound good again?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to hope so. We got to keep moving on, though, because it's just weird to me. I was very disappointed that Conrad didn't start a wrestling promotion.
Not yet.
We'll find out. Brooklyn Bleaks writes, Vince only pushing tall athletes over indie wrestlers, not wanting indie wrestlers. He wasn't at one point. Well, when Triple H had his finger on the pulse of things, there are times when he's definitely not. Bret Hart, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk.
Bret Hart's a good size.
AJ Styles,
but AJ, Punk, and Bryan, sure.
No, but no, even Bret is the same size as Punk.
Bret and Shawn are the same size.
Yeah, and they're Punk's taller than Shawn.
Interesting.
CM Punk's 6'1". Shawn 5'11".
Brett had
If that.
Brett and maybe Sean, but Brett definitely had a better body than all of those guys.
Brett?
Brett had a great body.
Sean had a better body than Brett.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Are you kidding me? Of course he did.
No, he didn't. Yeah, they say he's a scrawny piece of shit.
You look at them standing next to each other at WrestleMania 12. Yeah, he's in a lot better shape than Brett.
Bullshit.
Brett is definitely in good shape, but he doesn't have any definition the way
also, like, let's take a pause for the cause here and talk about the fact that, like, yeah, Sean probably had a better body at WrestleMania 12 because Sean also did the concussion angle and, like, barely wrestled for 3 months leading up to it while Brett was on the road main eventing with the title.
Hey, I'm not saying that there weren't reasons. I'm just saying Sean had a better body than Brett. That's just a fact.
False.
Just a fact.
Okay.
We're going to fight about this.
Yeah.
We have some comments here. All the Money says Tennessee Titans Stadium.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
All the Money's writes, yes, Brooklyn Bleak. I bet you Big Will Morrissey comes back.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah. They love him.
So?
They love the big size.
Yeah, we'll do it. Unless there's Enzo, he doesn't matter at all. We got to keep moving on, though. Right, we have to hit. Could you hit the next slide there, Jerf? We have earlier this week. We talked about this earlier a moment ago. Hikaru Shibata. They announced online. So she advanced into I was about to say the Mae Young tournament, the Owen Hart tournament. She advanced, and she was supposed to face Red Velvet. And it was announced earlier this week that she had an injury. And she was not going to be able to compete. And she wrote on Twitter, what? She wrote, what? And then she said, I've had 4 matches this week in Japan, and I'm going to have another one's coming up soon. Not sure why I was replaced or something like that. She wrote, AEW doesn't care about Japan wrestling. Japan wrestling. She said that.
What?
You didn't see that?
I know that I didn't get the full grip of what was going on in this situation.
She said they didn't care about it, right? And then maybe a little bit later, she's just like, I love Chris. I'm glad that she's going to have her match, blah, blah, blah. She kind of like backpedaled a little bit. Turns out she left for Japan after her match or to qualify, and they were supposed to see a doctor. Everyone in the tournament apparently is supposed to see a doctor before they advance, which is weird. And she didn't see this doctor, so she just went to Japan, and so they couldn't clear her to wrestle in the next match. So they just said, oh, she was injured, and apparently she knew about it. They made it seem like she knows that she's not wrestling, and she's acting surprised. So I'm not sure what to make of this. The story's still developing. We're going to stay on it.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts on this?
That all seems very strange. The whole thing feels very strange. I don't have a ton of comments because I can't like make sense of this. I'm not really sure what's going on.
It's very strange. Brooklyn Bleak says, just say Joshi. I'm not sure what that means. Just say Joshi, but that sounds like a great t-shirt. Just say Joshi.
Joshi Pro might have been where Shida was wrestling.
Or maybe it's a term I don't understand. Brooklyn Bleak, you're going to have to elaborate on that. I don't understand. But very interesting stuff. We're going to stay on it. We're going to come back with with some more of this. We're not going to lose this story like we lose some other stories. We got to keep moving on, Roy. We got to keep moving around because this show is rocking and rolling.
We're rocking.
We have someone else in here. We have Woodsy the Beast.
Yo,
Woodsy the Beast. Welcome, Woodsy. And they write, let me give you something. Woodsy Beast says, seems pretty shady.
Yeah, it does.
It does seem shady. It does seem pretty shady. I'm not sure who's the one being shady.
Yeah.
That's my
I don't
question.
know either. Right.
Is Hikaru Shibata going into business for herself, or is there some bad communication from AEW, which I would believe?
Yeah,
I would believe.
Cool.
But we got to keep on moving, though. Thank you so much for that comment. It does seem shady. Well, we should have a shirt that says "Seems pretty shady."
Seems pretty shady.
And we'll give you a little cut, Woodsy. Don't worry. Brooklyn Bleak writes, Japanese female wrestlers, Joshi. Oh, that's the term.
Yeah, that's the term. Just say
Joshi.
I
didn't know Joshi was the term for Japanese
is that what she's saying?
Wrestlers.
Is that what Shida is? Shida is saying that they don't care about Joshi wrestling. Not all of Japanese wrestling.
She wrote,
specifically Japanese women's wrestling.
She wrote, and I'm pretty sure this is a quote, Japan wrestling.
Okay.
She didn't say Japanese wrestling. She wrote Japan wrestling. She didn't say Joshi, but I'm sure maybe she meant that. And also, English isn't her first language. I'm sure she's gotten a little things mixed up. But we will stay on this story. Thank you all so much for the comments. We're going to keep moving on, though. We have to. Next slide there, Tam. MJF.
Oh, yeah.
MJF. Let's get one of these. MJF is in the news because apparently he's not very happy in AEW. He's not feeling too welcome there anymore. Apparently, he was very close with Tony Khan from the inception of AEW to the point where you could even consider them friends, Roy. They would be considered friends.
Yeah.
But they had this blow up back in March, an argument that everyone seemed to have heard backstage, which caused the temper, them not to be so chummy anymore. They're not so chummy anymore. And he's pretty much made it clear he's like going where the money is, and I think he's leaning towards WWE. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I took my phone out because I got a text today from my old roommate's little brother, who's like 17 now or 18, doesn't know anything about wrestling. But he texted me and he was like, "This MJF guy, what's his deal?" And I don't know how he had heard about MJF, but he fucking loves MJF, which is like a sign that like this guy's got some appeal. This guy's got some real appeal.
You know the term mid?
Yeah, it's like a thing now.
He came up with mid.
Right, yeah.
And it's a thing now that Gen Z people are saying. Yes. And they're quoting mid.
Well, there you go. This is Gen Z right here.
Gen Z, dog.
I don't know. It's a bummer, but like honestly, like there is no better story to tell than MJF leaving the WWE. I mean, leaving AEW, going to the WWE when Cody is champion and debuting to feud against Cody. I mean, there is no better story than that. And that's what's it's upsetting to hear, but like, we've got another year and a half.
God.
Because they only fought once, and MJF cheated to win. So they've got
Cody's winning next year at WrestleMania.
You think he's going to win next year at WrestleMania? You think they're going to wait that long? I feel like they're going to put the title on him by SummerSlam.
I think they're going to wait that long. But I think they're going to do that, and then he's going to hold the title up until January. And MJF's going to win the Royal Rumble next year, the following.
Man, I don't know. I mean, a lot can happen, right? A lot can happen. I don't know if this is in your news, and I've been thinking a lot about this from a business perspective. Do you have this whole Discovery Warner Media thing in your news?
We could discuss it. Let's discuss that.
It's just one of those things where, this merger is happening and more than one executive has left Warner Media since this happened. And those executives that are leaving are the people that were influential in growing AEW on Warner Media channels. And it's all about 2024. It's really because that's when MJF's contract is up, and that's also when AEW's TV deal is up too. Mm-hmm. And if Warner Media doesn't want them, maybe they'll go somewhere else. I mean, they're definitely desirable. Their ratings are consistently good. They're in the top 5 in cable, all of that. But if they don't get the big money deal that they think they're going to get, well, then I don't know if they can afford MJF.
Or what MJF wants,
which he deserves, by the way.
He does deserve it. AEW, just to briefly talk about that with the Warner Brothers Discovery merger, in their pitch to advertisers, they have highlighted AEW as a part of their pitch. Like, they are a big part of their pitch to advertisers right now. So all the plans that WWE had of trying to smear them to advertisers didn't work. They are pretty prominent in there, which is crazy. Yeah. We have some comments here. S writes, I agree with Woodbeast. It seems like AEW has way more drama than it used to, right? Like, it's not as harmonious as it used to be. And that's what happens with any
it's just
business,
gross.
like small business that becomes big business. The culture changes, the beanbags leave the office. All of a sudden you got HR in your butt.
Well, I think it's also like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think the influx of Malachi Black and Keith Lee and Punk and Bryan and Cole, like all of these guys individually are good dudes, but like I think looking like a cat like Joey Janela or a cat like Stu Grayson, where they're like, well, there's no room for me here anymore. Mm-hmm. And that does upset the original like harmonious flow that was the company when it first started, because now all these big dudes are here, and it does like shift the culture a little bit of the company for sure.
And it just takes one Nerf dart to the eye for them to ban Nerf guns forever from the back,
Did that happen?
That's all it needs. That's all it needs. We were reprimanded. I did have mine taken away because I shot someone in the eye.
Who'd you shoot in the eye?
It was someone. I was on customer service at the time, and I brought it over, and I was the only one with it, and I shot someone from across the room, and it hit someone like in the brow, and they're just like, "You're not allowed to use that anymore." That's a sales thing. We have to keep moving. Then we get All the Money's Right. MJF versus Miz 2023, 2024.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's
that.
I would not eat that up. Sorry.
You don't think MJF ripping apart Miz would be amazing?
Yeah, I mean, it would be incredible if they let him do it the way he wants to do it.
He would. I think that's the only way to have MJF and keep him the way he is. Like, you have to keep him the way he is. They will have to bear down. If he goes there, will he be allowed to be him? I'd have to assume that's why they want him. I
really don't think, like, he always talks about.
They don't want him for his size.
No, but that's true. But think about, like, he's all the times that he tears apart the crowd in ways that would never go over in WWE. I don't even think they'd want him to talk about being Jewish. I really don't believe that the WWE would let him talk about being Jewish.
Paul Heyman has made a bunch of comments about being
That's
Jewish.
also Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I know, but I think like the things that they will bear down on, they will probably stay like no more sexist things.
Sure,
no more sexist things.
Yeah, stop calling people fat pigs. Can't do that anymore.
I don't think they're going to stop that.
Well, I don't know.
And I kind of like that.
They have this whole "Be a Star" campaign about bullying. Like, you can't be a bully.
But he's a character, and I do think like as long as he's not saying something inflammatory, like slurs. Yeah. Which he's been dangerously close to saying during his MJF 2020 campaign.
Yeah. Do you think that WWE's next crop of stars, now that Roman Reigns is gone, are just going to be people that come over from AEW?
I think it's going to be a mix. I think that, and I also think that people like MJF can make stars. Sure. People like Cody can make. Cody is a certified star maker.
Sure.
I really believe that Cody and AEW, I think he really made Sammy.
I mean, he made Darby.
Them all shine. So I think that
QT
them
Marshall.
bringing these young people that have already a lot of experience putting others over on a big brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll just see what happens. It's weird. It's all very weird.
We have Woodsy back in there. Thank you so much, Woodsy. Woodsy writes, I really don't think the MJF thing matters right now. His contract expires in 2024. It's all about the talk, though. I really love it. And also, it's not good for business for whenever, even though it's a bit and it's like he does doing it for a bit, it doesn't look good to advertisers and sponsors and people that don't understand wrestling when they're watching the product and there's someone on their channel saying, I'm going to WWE. I'm going to USA Network.
Well, he doesn't say that. He's going where the money is.
To it. He's alluding to it. Mentioning Bruce Pritchard, Hunter, Vince, whatever. Brooklyn Bleak writes, I don't know, the streaming deal with NJPW and this Forbidden Door pay-per-view, I was thinking she specifically meant Joshi women in general are being excluded from AEW versus NJPW pay-per-view.
That's also
very true. That's a great point, Brooklyn Bleak. Thank you so much for elaborating.
Whoever said it might have been Meltzer, that Stardom, which is an all-women's company owned by New Japan, will not be a part of this, which is a shame.
That is a shame. And thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. I did not know that, but now I do, and I'm glad that you mentioned it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Brooklyn Bleak. We appreciate you. Woodsy the Beast says, could go to Disney, put AEW on ESPN. That'd be pretty dope.
That'd be really interesting. Really interesting. That, that'd be interesting.
Last time that happened was Vern Gagne, AWA, I believe.
I think after that was the Global Wrestling Federation, which was in the late 80s, early 90s.
I thought Vern was in the early 90s.
Vern was, I think, in the early 80s. By the 90s, he had already been bought. Yeah, Global Wrestling Federation, yeah. That's where Lightning Kid, a.k.a. Sean Waltman, got a start with Jerry Lynn.
Very interesting.
Barry Horowitz,
that's right.
too.
I did know that. All the Money's writes, we have Brooklyn Bleak writing, God, no, sanitized AEW. Not a good look. Once they become more corporate. All the Money's writes, MJF will have to change names. Think Gunther. Vince will keep copyrights. Colt Cabana's WB was Scotty Goldstein, Jewish jobber, a.k.a. Colt. I don't think so. I think if they're getting MJF, they want the whole package.
I would think so, too.
Yeah. Just like AJ Styles. You're not going to bring AJ Styles in and call him like the Lana DeButch. I don't know.
Yeah, but at that time, though, they were also bringing in a bunch of guys and keeping their names the way they were. I mean, Adam Cole was Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Broderick Strong.
Yeah, but the comparison he makes with Colt Cabana was a nobody. Was an absolute nobody. No offense, but to the television audience.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be cold, but like he's just had no international.
Cold. Rather than cult. Get it?
Yeah, cold. Yeah, I have a cold. I'm cold. Woodsy says he would be a perfect Ted DiBiase for this generation. Give him some lower mid carders as stable that lose weekly, and MJF only wrestles on pay-per-view. I would love for him just to be so solo. I just love for him to be so solo and just all about him. Maybe
he doesn't ever need to wrestle. He really doesn't ever need to wrestle.
Doesn't ever need to wrestle. No. Brooklyn Bleak, yeah, they barred the whole Bully Ray thing from happening in WB. Bully Ray pitched a whole thing against Cena that probably would have been something, but WWE said no because of Be a Star. Yes, because I hear that, but I also don't think they trust Bully.
Who said that? Who just said
that? Brooklyn Bleak said that.
Yeah.
I don't think they trust Bully to not say the R word or the F word or any of the words. I think.
I don't know if I trust. Well, I trust MJF not to say those two words, but he'll say
I trust
some
MJF. Yeah, true. It's true. All Money says, whatever happened to David Starr? Who?
Oh, David Starr. Who said that? All the Monies? David Starr, other than Joey Ryan, was the absolute worst offender of the speaking out movement. The whole thing that came down. He's a really gigantic piece of shit.
Oh, cool.
Which is unfortunate. He was a prominent independent Jewish wrestler.
What's that?
He was a prominent independent Jewish wrestler who started a wrestlers union in the UK.
Oh, interesting. Well,
now I think he works at UPS.
Hey, come on.
So, well, I'm Jimmy.
Yes.
What's his face does? Jimmy Havoc does. No, he's an Amazon delivery driver. Jimmy Havoc is. Remember
we got Tony in the chat.
Tony,
boom! Welcome, Tony.
What was that noise? That's a good one.
Cartoon slip. We're not going to the hammer noises anymore. We're not allowed. Tony says they're not using using wrestlers' indie names anymore. They want full control on the merch.
Except Cody Rhodes.
There are exceptions, Tony.
Which I think they might have copyrighted still. Like they might have Rhodes copyrighted.
Oh, I'm sure they're making money off of it.
Yeah.
That's right. I used to fake sick as a kid to stay home to watch Global Wrestling on ESPN because it was on in the early afternoon. Good times.
Hell yeah.
Good times.
Who are your favorites, Ass?
Yeah,
Axel Rotten.
Whoa.
Johnny, I think his name was Johnny Rotten at that time or something.
Axel and Ian?
Axel and Ian Rotten.
Woodsy says, what happened to Marty Skrull?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Had drunk sex with a minor. Sometimes wrestles in Mexico, I think, now.
Enemy spotted.
That's good for him. We have to keep moving on, Roy.
Yeah, we
can't stay on MJF forever. We're going to go to the next slide there, Jerv. Thank you so much. CM Punk versus Eric Bischoff. The feud to end them all. CM Punk said something about TV stuff and how wrestling's very popular right now. It's very popular, and maybe the TV rigs don't show it, but people are looking on different areas than TV. And Eric Bischoff's just like, I trust CM Punk with matches, with finishes, with thoughts and theory on wrestling, but he hasn't spent 5 minutes in the television industry. And he starts going off about that. And he also takes everyone. Did you know that everyone in the world is copying the NWO? Did you know that? Absolutely everyone in the world is copying the NWO. I didn't know if you realized that, but absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
And CM Punk shot back, calling him a carny dipshit. And he said that you have to stay on your nostalgia podcast, which must hurt. Not just Eric, but everyone at AEW.
Everyone, period, dog.
The two announcers that announce you each time, JR and Tony. Arn Anderson's crying in the back now.
Yeah. Jake.
Jake just got his.
And Regal.
It's
I haven't.
honestly,
has that started yet? Have you listened to Regal's podcast? Has it started yet?
No. I honestly,
I
love Regal. I'm
so excited.
I just don't know what to get out of that.
It's not going to be, you didn't know, but
it's not going to be you didn't know, but yeah, but like just it's such a dumb feud. It's such a dumb thing.
It's not even but I agree with Punk. I agree, and it's not just Bischoff. It's all these people. Hey, Disco, shut the fuck up. No one cares about you, Disco Inferno. Like, get out of here.
No, but I don't blame Eric Bischoff for doing. He's just doing content. It's just content. And I think it was stupid for CM Punk to just do something. because now he has to deal with fucking Eric Bischoff incessantly tweeting out pictures of him with a broken nose saying, oh, he won so many fake fights, he thought he could win a real one.
Oh my God.
CM Punk asked for this.
Well, I think CM Punk is, I would think that Punk was just like, all right, cool. Like, I don't think Punk should give a shit moving forward. And if anything, like, yeah, I mean, Punk lost a couple of fake fights, but like Bischoff squandered away hundreds of millions of dollars and drove a mega successful company into the fucking ground.
Oh, he had a lot of help, though. He did have a lot of help.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course he did.
But this isn't over with CM. Another thing happened with CM Punk this week. We're going to stay on CM Punk for a spell. CM Punk was someone interviewed him asking about what his thoughts on Forbidden Door and if he's going to face Kenta at Forbidden Door. And then he responded with no and changed the subject. Maybe there's some heat there. I don't know. That's a match that a lot of people want.
I would like that match.
I would love that match, but it seems like he has zero interest in it, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We want him to face Kenta, right?
I would love for him to face Kenta.
That's the main person I want from this connection.
That's That's interesting.
Who do you want to see?
I would love to see him fight Kenta like on the Dynamite before Forbidden Door.
Who do you want him to face at Forbidden Door?
He should fight Okada. He should fight.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But Kenta is the feud.
Tanahashi.
That's the only one with a history, which is cool.
I mean, the only yeah. That's true. That's true.
Brooklyn Bleak writes, "Lol, enemy spotted." S writes, "I really dug the Patriot back in the GFW days. He had a great feud with the Dark Patriot." Del Wilkes,
rip.
I saw him once at NWS National Wrestling Superstars in Glendale, New Jersey, and Elks Lodge in Glendale. He there's a big fall from this. He fought Amazing Red that night.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
that match.
Pretty sick.
That really painted how I felt about Amazing Red for years. I was just like, this sucks.
Oh, man.
Woodsy DeBee says, am I crying under the bed with his Glock? Arn crying under the bed with his Glock. It's really messed up that CM Punk said that to Arn's face like that. I just thought that was fun. But staying on CM Punk still, can we go to the next slide there, Jerf? I appreciate it. Guess what's coming back, Roy?
What?
Carpool Karaoke. It's back, and it's better than ever. Do you know who's on it this year?
I only saw that there might be some AEW wrestlers, but I'm not sure.
So I've never seen Carpool Karaoke. Zero interest.
What? Come on. You never saw the ones with James Corden? We lived with our old roommate.
I saw
we watched them all the time.
And I saw Andy die from them. I did not think they were enjoyable. I do not like James Corden, and I don't think he's very lovable. And apparently he's not.
Stevie Wonder one is very good.
But now he's no longer in the car with them. It's just celebrities hanging out with each other, which I'm all about.
Sure.
Because they showed a clip of Snoop Dogg and Matthew McConaughey. Yes, please. Yes, please, and then some. But they have 2 cars of AEW superstars. Do you want to guess who they are?
I feel like I saw a picture with like Brian, Britt Baker, Punk, and Christian?
In one car.
Oh my gosh.
They're all in one car together, which is awesome. Who's in the other car?
Jungle? Ruby Soho.
Yes.
Okay. How many people? There's 4 people in the other car too? 3.
3 in this one.
Ruby.
You got the first one.
Jungle Boy?
Nope.
Ugh, that's a shame. Darby?
No, I'll give you the other 2.
Yeah.
So it's Ruby, Powerhouse Hobbs.
That's great.
And MJF.
Really?
What a car ride. I can't wait. That's something to review on. And maybe you should check out the new podcast. The new podcast that's sweeping the nation. It's Empty Arena. It's a Loser Leaves Wrestling. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. We cover the history of the hardcore title, and it's blowing up. It's our most
it's very good. I had a lot of fun doing that, and we're going to do more deep dives on kooky things coming soon.
When I'm not
We've been taking this week off to relax a little.
Sick. Alamonis writes Okada versus Hangman. Very interesting.
Sure, of course.
Tony writes Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. is what I want to see.
Well, I would think that's like a slam dunk. That has to happen.
Woodsy writes, the reason Kenta and Punk don't like each other is because Kenta accused Punk of copyright infringement for using GTS after Kenta left WWE. Wait, what? Punk was there before Kenta.
Yeah, but also for the record, Kenta was doing that move, and Punk
Kenta had
took
the
it from
move
Kenta.
first.
Yeah, but I guess he
hold
couldn't
on.
say anything as Hideo Itami.
Hold on. If you're not in the same company, moves are moves. You can't hold copyright to a move if you're not in that company. Even the copyright is weird, but like if you're not in that company, like I can't use the power bot. You know, like
Right.
that makes no sense. Punk was there first. He was using it in WWE first. It's his WWE move. If he was in New Japan, he shouldn't use it.
I don't know.
I don't think he should.
I'm someone who's like, well, whatever, you know. How many people do a DDT, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kenta. Well, I do think Kenta was probably trying to just get some heat back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
To get some,
He was trying to get the ball rolling for himself.
And Punk is very moody, and he holds a grudge.
Punk
so
is
that's
very
why
moody.
he's very moody. Tony writes Moxley. You didn't answer that. He just wrote Moxley with a question mark. Tony then writes, "It's Kenta's move." I get it. It's Kenta's move. But DDT's Jake's move. Are you going to get mad at, like you said, everyone for using the DDT? Moves are moves. They're not yours.
Yeah,
Ever.
more people should finish people with the DDT these days.
They should. But no. But like, do you agree that there's no ownership over any one move, unless you're in that company?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Brian Cage does the F5.
Yeah. Well, fuck Brian Cage.
I'm just saying.
Al Money says, "Please God, where's the link tree for Loser Leaves Wrestling?" Oh, you could find it on our Instagram. You could find it on our TikTok.
Sure.
And you can find it. You can find a lot of places.
I would just go to our Instagram. I think that's the best place.
Our Instagram, Loser Leaves Wrestling on Instagram. Thank you so much, all the monies. You're going to get one of these. You're going to get a Taco Bell. Brooklyn Bleak says, yeah, plus he's from another country. So the GTS and Danielson's Busaku knee or knee plus or whatever. Wait, what?
Was the Busako knee also Kenta? Triple threat match.
But either way, it's just like, it's a running knee.
It's a running knee. Yeah.
It's a running knee. The GTS maybe a little bit more because it's a little bit different, but even so, that's just a kick to the face. You lift and kick in the face. I just don't like this, like, kind of like blind ownership. Like, oh, I came up with that first. You see Dean Malenko coming around trying to get everyone out of the Texas Cloverleaf. You think he's pissed about that?
Oh, I love that. I love that you brought that up. That's great. I love the Texas Cloverleaf. And
even though that's not his, you know who invented that?
Who?
Terry Funk.
No.
Yep.
Really? He did the spinning toe hold.
He did the spinning toe hold, but he invented the Texas Cloverleaf.
Fascinating.
We got to keep moving on, though.
Yeah,
we have to keep moving on because we are running close to time. Could you go to the next slide there, Jer? We got Young Rock is coming back for a third season. I'm sweating. I am sweating my ball off.
Look at that head. You always wearing a hat. We never see your head.
Ooh, it's hot.
Ooh. Yeah, great.
Oh yeah, Young Rock is coming back for a third season. I don't know why I put this in my news, but it's true.
Is Colt Cabana going to continue to be the Brooklyn Brawler? Because I'll watch it if that happens.
I just have no interest in the show, and honestly, I can't wait for this third season. Maybe they'll talk about all of Rock's homophobic comments towards Kevin Kelly. Like I'm hoping,
or all of the weird harassy comments he would make towards Lily Garcia.
Yeah, or maybe some of the scary allegations coming from the Florida University.
Is that true of him?
The entire team.
Well, the entire team, yeah.
The entire team from the 80s to the 2000s are monsters.
Yeah,
and he was a top dog for a little bit. So I don't know. I just want him to atone.
Yeah, atone for your sins.
This is what this is about, right?
Yeah,
like he's getting ready. John Busman, friend of the show, John Busman said this is him using propaganda to try and get ready for a potential run by just literally saying everything that he's done. I'm waiting for him to get for the homophobic shit because it's coming up.
Let's go.
Woodsy says, I'd prefer for Punk's finisher to be the Anaconda Vice anyways. I do too. I love the Anaconda.
Sure.
I've never actually liked the GTS. I've always thought the GTS was a dumb move.
It's not
it's not a great finish.
It's just not easy to like do naturally. Yeah. Like there's a lot of setup.
It's clunky.
Yeah.
It's clunky. Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Although, whatever.
Wait.
It's just it's not easy to set up naturally back then, but now it is because everybody's so athletic. Like he's
They're
done a
so
couple
used
of
to it.
really natural transitions into that move when wrestling guys like Phoenix or Darby Allin, like guys like that. But anyway,
Kevin Nash wouldn't be able to do that move.
yeah, that's true.
Joe's in the chat. Welcome,
Joe's
Joe.
here. Joe's
Welcome, Joe.
Get me fired up.
Did anyone watch the WWE episode? Colt was great. As much as I love The Rock, he's a little full of himself on the show, though.
I do. I have to watch that episode. I might do that after this.
We do want to watch that episode. But we reviewed, you could check out on our podcast the episode where we reviewed Young Rock, one episode of Random Season 2. Don't like it. Just don't like it.
I like it.
Brooklyn Bleak says, wait, wasn't Bischoff doing the whole I'm a real martial artist thing on WCW back in the day against the martial arts guy whose name I can't remember? Ernest Cat Miller?
Huh. I don't remember him feuding with Ernest the Cat Miller, but yes, it was. And the reason Ernest the Cat Miller got a job is because Eric Bischoff's kid was his like karate teacher.
Yeah. Which
Hilarious.
is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But Ernest Cat Miller's pretty dope. We like him.
Yeah, he's okay.
All the money's right. Colt Cabana is so...
Remember that?
Oh, yeah. The music that everyone used for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Colt Cabana is so awesome at a live show. He is. He really is. Joe writes, Rock for president, far better than the current or previous presidents. Whatever. Honestly, whatever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. This world is nonsense. It's a nonsense place. Brooklyn Bleak says, but imagine making fun of somebody for trying out fighting in the octagon against trained fighters in their prime. He's just grasping at straws, right?
Yeah.
He's just trying to hurt him. Woodsy says, or maybe a remake of the WrestleMania X7 promo with Christopher Daniels as Stone Cold. Where are we going? How did we get here? I'm not sure.
How did we get here?
How did we get here? Rock is president.
Christopher Daniels.
As Stone Cold Steve Austin. I like where your head's at, Woodsy. I do like where your head's at.
Oh, Christopher Daniels will play Stone Cold Steve Austin on the show.
Oh.
Interesting.
Have Dax play Stone.
Oh.
Brooklyn says, but imagine making fun of us. Oh, no, we already did that. Brooklyn Bleak. Nah, the guy with the mullet who wore all black. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe I'm COVID.
Mullet who wore all black.
He was the martial arts
Jerry Flynn?
Maybe Jerry Flynn. Let us know.
Jerry Flynn feuded with Bischoff?
S, maybe you know. It was Jerry Flynn.
Yeah.
S writes, you have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Johnson, and you must atone. Thank you so much. We all have to watch the network together as a group. Maybe on the Patreon, we'll all watch the network. But we got to keep moving on. Because we're not young forever. Next slide there, Azure. We got, this is sad. But I have to bring it up. Bill DeMott has recently asked for WWE to rescind Sonny Tammy Cinch's Hall of Fame spot because of her frequent DUIs. And while I'm not necessarily mad at it's just like, Bill DeMott, shut the fuck up. And also, Sammy, what the fuck? Is Sonny, I feel bad for Sonny, but I'm also just like, it's terrible. It's just all around terrible.
Yeah.
She had her bail revoked.
Yeah.
So recently she got in a car accident, maybe about a month ago, a fatal car accident, which killed a 74-year-old man.
Yeah.
And she was arrested, booked, got out on bail. Toxicology came in. Her blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit.
Yeah.
And her bail was rescinded. She's looking to face somewhere between 5 and 30 years in jail.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad. It's just really sad because I really liked Sonny, not growing up because I didn't see her much growing up, but like as I got older, I really appreciated I think she's a great manager and she has a great mind for the business. And it's just really a shame that her life wound to this place, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's all really sad. And like, Bill DeMott's daughter was killed in a drunk driving accident. So he definitely has some skin in the game here.
Yeah,
And
I don't want
tricky.
to. I did post a dumb picture of Bill DeMott.
Bill DeMott.
But like honestly, like I feel bad that he lost his daughter. But
also, like, look,
I'm glad that he's no longer a trainer for WWE.
Yeah, he's done a lot of horrible things. He said a lot of horrible things. There's a lot of firsthand accounts about horrible things that he said and did. He's bad in so many ways. Despite how likable he was in season 3 of Tough Enough, he is bad in so many ways. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Joe writes, the guy who played Stone Cold sounded great, but looked like Mr. Kennedy. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that is true.
I did see it. Laugh out loud Taker moment though. I would love to see who played Taker. I have a feeling it's just bad. It's just like we're watching bad cosplay.
Yeah.
And which is kind of fun.
Which is why I'm excited to see Cabana as Brooklyn Brawler.
Which is great. Brooklyn Bleak says, I think that's his name. He had a real fight on WCW against Ernest Miller. They had a match like Butterbean and Bart Gunn. They linked that to Bischoff because of the training stuff. Very interesting.
I
that's
gotta
funny.
go back and find all of this, Blake.
Woodsy DeBeast says, was Bischoff feuding with Chono? No. Well, no, I don't think Sonny Chono.
Thinking black pants and a mullet, though, that was definitely Masahiro Chono.
I was thinking Sonny Ono. Sorry, not Chono.
They did have a real life feud, though, right? He sued WCW? Your best friend, Sonny Ono.
He didn't sue Eric.
No, he just sued WCW for stereotyping.
Everyone sued WCW.
Everyone sued
That's where the money is at, baby. But they're still best friends. They still send each other panties back and forth or something.
Oh my god!
Sonny Ono loves to buy used panties from vending machines. Apparently, they have those, and he thinks that he should start a wrestling company where you hand out used panties. This is real. This is a real thing. He thought this was a great idea.
One day, as a Patreon exclusive, you should explain your experience with Sonny Ono.
It's barely experience. Joe writes, yes, horrible cosplay. Colt was the only one who seemed like an actor. He did have more of a role, though. He should go into acting more.
He should. He should.
We have to keep moving on, though, Roy.
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
Running through daylight. Next slide there, sure. We got Claudio Cesaro. You see his new name, Cesaro? CSRO? CSRO.
CSRO
Terrible.
Claudio.
Just go
He should just be Claudio.
Just be Claudio. Get rid of Castagnoli. I know that's it's a mouthful, but Claudio's perfect.
Yeah.
But he sent out a tweet that said soon. He said
Love
soon,
it.
and it's a picture of him in a shirt that says Claudio's Cafe, and under it says like, "Thank you for being a friend."
Have you
Coffee bean.
seen the Claudio's Cafe video?
Love it, and it's like 10 years old, and it's the only thing he's ever posted, and I love it.
I put it on the
don't have coffee.
The LLW playlist. Yeah, put it at the top of the LLW playlist, and also I put Bryan Danielson's one and only YouTube video as well from like 12 years ago.
I love that. I love it so much. And he said that apparently he has a high asking price.
Smart.
High asking price, but apparently a lot of people aren't booking him for it because they're waiting for him to come back down to earth. Yeah.
No, I think he's smart. He made a lot of money. He made a lot of good money. He knows his worth, and he's happy sitting at home working on other things until they can meet his price.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not mad at him for it. But I'm very interested to see where he goes. Very interested. And we have one last news story here, Roy. One last. And it's the main event of the news story. Next slide there, Jerv. We have someone coming out of retirement. That's right. The living legend himself, the nature boy, Ric Flair, 73 years young, wants to get back in the ring and step it up because he's got another match in him, according to him talking to Conrad Thompson. Oh, I've got another match. I got another match, baby. I have to learn how to do old man Ric Flair. I could only do young man Ric Flair. This 73-year-old wants to get back in the ring. I put a picture of him looking every bit of 73 at 62. Bloodied up. What's going on here?
Have you heard about what the match is?
He's actually having a match?
Have you heard the rumor of what the match would be in theory? FTR and Ric Flair versus the Rock and Roll Express and someone.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No. No. Keep
My
FTR
issue with
out
that,
of
yeah.
this bullshit.
FTR shouldn't be in the ring when Ric Flair dies in the middle of it.
He actually said, so let's go to that. He said he wants to die in the ring. I think
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
not
Ric Flair
surprised by that.
trying to die in the ring. He's like, I don't want to die in a hospital bed or jumping off the 19th floor. What? Like,
Whoa!
Rick, like, don't make your intentions
easy,
so known.
Rick.
He's gonna kill himself in the ring.
Yeah, he's gonna be Mickey Rourke. He's gonna do the Mickey Rourke.
Spoiler.
He's gonna do that back the Flair like the flop.
Ram Jam?
No, right. What move is this, by the way?
You don't remember the Ram Jam?
I do, but like, how are you supposed to like? Is it like a headbutt thing?
It never really. I think he's dropping both elbows on you or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was saying that that the spot where Flair goes up the top rope and then they toss him off of it. That's gonna be it for Rick. That's gonna
You
be
think
his
Ric
final
Flair could
spot.
get up to the top rope?
I think
he
he's
has to
gonna
be
slowly.
boosted up there. They're gonna help him up there, and then they're gonna throw him off like an old sack of shit.
Like an old sack of shit.
Joe writes, Flair is coming out of retirement so he can have an excuse to get on more flights in his robe. Woo. Joe, stop it. You're being a
saucy.
You're being saucy. That's what it's gonna sound like after the Ric Flair match. He's dead. He's dead. But yeah, that's the end of the news. That's all the
That's
news.
it.
That's all the news. But we do have. What do we have, Roy?
That's
maybe a Hall of Fame induction.
We do have a Hall of Fame induction. Yeah.
We have a Hall of Fame induction. If we could go to the Hall of Fame slide. Thanks so much, Sheriff. Do you want to go first? I think you should.
You want me to go first? I can go first. This has been. I did a lot of thinking here. This was tough. This was a tough one. But I am going to induct into the LLW Weekly Hall of Fame.
Oh God.
For a really dumb reason, because I can't induct Dax because I just inducted Dax a few weeks ago, but I'm going to induct Chris Jericho specifically for the reason that he said, "Shut up, kid," or throw a fireball in your face, "'cause I'm a wizard." He gets the nod for that line and that line only.
But also the line he did on Rampage where he's just like, "You better watch it. I'll throw fireballs in all your faces."
Yeah.
The fact that he's threatening fireballs at people
Hilarious.
is making me love him.
It's so good.
Very interesting. So you're sending that line into the Hall of Fame.
I'm
Not
sending
necessarily
Jericho into the Hall of Fame for his performance this week because he's
You could also send a line in. We haven't had. We could send lines in. We could send matches in.
I'm going to send Jericho in general because he sold that punch really well that Regal gave him. He also is really good at playing a dumb heel. Like when Moxley comes out, he's like, "Well, there's just one of you." I love it. It's so dumb.
He really is the
He's
best
great.
at it.
Yeah.
My induction is going to be very serious, very very serious because I think he's been doing a great job, and we put him in before as a tag team. But I think Dax Harwood deserves to be in this Hall of Fame. I think he had a star-making performance this past Wednesday. Two-time inductee, Dax Harwood. He had a star-making performance this past Wednesday. I think he did a really excellent job. And I want to see him. I don't want to see him as a singles just yet. But I don't mind seeing him as singles. I don't want him to leave FTR. But man, am I excited for when he does.
Yeah.
I'm excited for when he does.
Yeah.
And I think that's the class. That's the class.
That's our class.
Of March 14th, LLW Hall of Fame.
May.
What did I say?
March.
Whatever. March, May. It's all the same. Loser Leaves Wrestling, HOF. We got Dax Harwood and Chris Jericho saying he's a wizard. No, you're giving all of Chris Jericho. I was just joking.
Yeah, Chris Jericho gets the whole thing. But that's what tipped him over is the wizard line.
Yeah, no, I get it. We have a few comments here before we end this out. We have what's going on? Brooklyn Bleak says, "Yeah, Ram Jam is just a 2-elbow splash from the top ropes." Yeah, but is it a splash? Is he landing on his stomach or is he landing like a headbutt? I thought it was like an elbow and headbutt.
So dangerous. Elbow headbutt.
Absolutely
dangerous.
Treacherous. Brooklyn Bleak says, "Did you see the match snippet with Jay Lethal, Ric Flair in training?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, Flair's taking bumps, but it's scary.
He's taking bumps, but it's just like it's edited bumps. Like we didn't see him huffing gas to try and stand up again.
Right.
Woodsy says, "I bet he's gonna have a diaper under the tights."
Pretty good.
Woodsy.
Welcome to the party, Woodsy.
Welcome, Woodsy.
That's it.
Brittany, bitch.
Joe writes, and they called it the AEW Galaxy. Awesome. They called it the AEW Galaxy. Are they calling the fan base the AEW Galaxy?
No, maybe Jericho is as a bit, as part of his character.
Funny. Okay, if that's the case, that's pretty funny. All the Money's writes, yes, Flair versus Lethal YouTube is happy. What? All the Money's, we're usually on such the same page. We're on the same page all the time. I'm thinking they're trying to say I'm not sure. All the Money's, you're going to have to clarify because I'm going to make some judgments about you in a second. It's going to affect our time at the AEW show. I'm going to be like, he wants Flair to wrestle again. Or they want Flair to wrestle again. We have Connor saying, part of me wants to induct Smart Mark. He was so busy this week and plays his role well every time.
Good call. That's a good call.
We already have the inductions.
When the inductions are set in stone, but I have a feeling Smart Mark is going to be on the ballot for many weeks to come.
We should have a fan like the AW universe, the LLW universe, LLW Galaxy induction. Yeah. He's inducted into the AEW Galaxies, right?
Yeah.
That wing of the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Mark Sterling's in there. Good job, Connor. Yeah, Mark. Connor says, can we get your final predictions for the Jokers next week? I'm going to say, what were you going to say?
You go first.
I think it's Cesaro.
Okay. I think it's Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's
if it's not Cesaro, I think it's Jeff Cobb.
Okay, that's a good one. And I think for the women, it's either Athena or it's either Dakota Kai or the other gal whose name I can't remember right now.
Medusa?
No, Medusa. She has 2 knee braces, knee surgeries.
Sarah Logan?
No, she's too busy, her own narrative. Yeah. I can't remember her name right now.
But I think Athena is the best answer.
But I think she's going to beat Britt Baker. Whoever the Joker is going to beat Britt Baker. If Tanahashi or Jeff Cobb are the Jokers, I believe Samoa Joe is going to beat both of them.
Brooklyn Blake says, does anybody want to see Stokely Hathaway being Jade Cargill and the Baddies manager?
I would like to see Stokely Hathaway in AEW in a management role, but not with her. Stokely Hathaway is Malcolm Bivens. He just got released. He's incredible. He's an incredible talker, an incredible character.
I heard about him.
He's also best friends with shirtless sound guy Evan.
Oh, no.
They're good friends. I don't know if they're best friends.
You should get them on the pod.
Yeah.
Connor says, Gut tells me it's going to be Johnny and Candace. I still want Davey Boy Smith Jr., though.
Candace is an interesting call, too.
If it's Johnny, Samoa Joe's winning.
Yeah. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is also a really interesting call, too.
I would love that, actually. That'd be great. Joe writes, Jericho's group calls it AW Galaxy. They are a great gimmick. They are.
Hilarious. So funny.
Brooklyn Bleak says, hoping for Jeff Cobb and Athena. Yep. I like that crew, too. Because Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe sounds
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, really cool. And Joe continues to impress me with his wind. He's in good shape. He's had some.
He knows how to pace himself. He's always known how to work without looking gassed. Yep. All the Money's. I only want Flair to wrestle in a retirement community like Branson, Missouri. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Like Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, in a retirement community in Branson, Missouri. Branson is the Vegas of the Bible Belt.
I have a lot of questions about Branson.
Joe writes, I nominate Danhausen for having a job like an enhancement talent in his first match. You deserve better, sir. I agree, but
he got distracted.
That is not Hall of Fame worthy. That is not Hall of Fame. We can't induct him. We just can't. And no, he wasn't distracted. He looked like a little shit dick. S writes, haven't caught you fellas live on Saturday for a while. It's a good time. It's a good time having you here.
We're having a good time over here, S.
Come having a good time. Thank you. And I'm sick.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Bleak says Tegan Knox. And
Tegan Knox.
Tegan. And Nixon Noel.
Nixon Noel is her new name. Is her shoot name.
I hate that name. Woodsy says, if Flair wants to die in the ring, just put him against Rey Mysterio. The 619 has already killed someone before.
Whoa.
The 619 didn't kill someone, Woodsy. It's the drop down. It's the
the rope did.
And was it? And the guy took it wrong. I'm not trying to victim blame the guy, rest in peace, but he went neck first rather than armpit.
Yeah,
and that's the game.
That's how you got to do it. Who was it? Where did I see something where? I think it was on the Cody Stone Cold interview, where Cody said that Ray said, "Don't push the rope down, don't hold on to the rope," because Ray will fly right through it.
That was a pretty funny bit.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Cody soon. We're going to talk about that. Woodsy then says, I bet the Joker is Moose. Interesting.
Moose is interesting.
That is interesting.
Moose is
as
an
well.
interesting call.
But I think that we've covered everything.
I think
today,
we did
right?
it. I think we did it. We did a great job.
And we're trying our best. Roy just helped his brother move. I just woke up from a COVID coma.
Yeah, I'm struggling over here, but not as much as you, pal. I appreciate you stepping up today. I think you did a great job. You did an awesome job today.
You stop it. Get out of here. You're
an awesome job.
Enemy spotted. Everyone have a great night. We're gonna have a fun night and have a safe travels. Follow the podcast. Follow Instagram for everything.
Yeah.
Go all do the things. Red said, All the Money says, Red and LA friends, start looking at places near the forum to hang before AEW June.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'll be drinking in the parking lot, dog. Let's go. Connor says, good show, guys. Thank you so much, Connor.
Thank you, Connor.
Everyone. Bye.
See y'all. See you on Wednesday.
2, 3.
Ole. 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 Ole.